Shalom and good day all. This is Tehillim29 back again for another indie comic review. And for this indie comic review, I am covering the Dynamite Savage Tales one shot. And it's got 4 stories in it, but I'm going to be rating it all as one story. But we'll get to have a look inside, also get the cover rating, as well as the art rating and everything else that follows through with it. So moving into first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? In some essence, yes, but my overall rating for it is a 9. That's right, a 9 out of 10. Absolutely fantastic and great work, Dynamite. Now it's time to move into having a look at the internal stories and also the art in relation to the stories. So as we look on the left-hand side here, we get to see the stories that are in here. But I will be rating it all as one story in relation to this particular one-shot. And we get to move straight into the first story at the beginning around the character of Draculina. And yes, as you can see, it's not afraid to show a lot. Do remember that this is actually taking place in a wrestling ring in the particular story. And I jumped towards the end of that one, and then we finally move into the John Carter story with Deja Forest. We get to see some of the events that take place and where the story ends. Then we move into Vampirella and some of the things that, plus some of the things that take place with her, until we get the end of that. Then we have the Captain Gulliver Jones, which is sort of like a comic version of Gulliver's Travels. If anyone remembers those type of stories, whether they've seen it on film or read it in book, we get to see him move from one place eventually into another, and of course until the story is continued in one of their books. So for the internal art, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the stories. Now I'll address some of the things that were covered in the stories, such as time. In regards to the area of time, we had in one story 1 month after. In another story, we had centuries ago. And for the last story, or one of the other stories, it had the year of 1918. For the locations, we had a wrestling arena, and that was in the first story. We had Mars in the John Carter story. The cast of characters that took place in all of this, we had Draculina, John Carter, Deja Forest, Vampirella, and of course Gulliver Jones. For the overall story rating in this, from first to last story, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.